Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Can we do a very, very quick sound check, please? Can you hear me? Give me a one if you can hear me loudly and clearly in the chat, or a two if you can't. I just want to make sure I'm not muted before we get going with today's show. Oh, I don't know why you're surprised. I'm not surprised by any of this. I'm probably one of the least surprised people in the entire UK. Oh, well, number one, right. I've been telling you about this stuff over and over and over again. It looks like I've been right again, doesn't it? Kind of getting sick and tired of being right. But before we do that, breaking news, breaking news. Look at this on the screen. Look, breaking news is in. Breaking news. Absolutely unbelievable. We told you. We told you. Told you. We told you. He's done it again. He's done it again, guys. He's done it again. And by done it again, let me make that clear. I'm saying he's had an adverse finding. All right. I'm not accusing. Let's start with the disclaimer. I am not accusing Dillian White of intentionally taking any performance enhancing drugs. The authorities, such as UCAD, although we'll get onto that in a minute, the authorities such as UK Anti-Doping and the British Boxing Board of Control should conduct a thorough investigation, if they're allowed to do so. We'll get onto that in a second. And they should be able to determine if Dillian White intentionally took a PED and what the punishment should be. So for all the lawyers listening, I am not accusing British boxing, I'm not accusing Dillian White of intentionally taking any performance enhancing drugs. It's down for the relevant legal authorities to decide that. All I will do is give my opinion on the facts and the matters of the case as they become clear. Right, there you go. Now that's done. Dillian White, first and foremost, right? Somebody's asked, big up Mark Gilroy. I see you in the chat, Mark. I really appreciate you, Mark. I appreciate you, brother. Somebody asked, where's the British boxing theme tune? Sorry, listen, this is breaking news, so I'm a little bit late for this. If you want the British boxing theme tune, we can quickly do that while we go through that. So let's get the British boxing theme tune going. Press 7 there. I haven't got my headphones on yet. Press 7 if you hear the British boxing theme tune loudly and clearly. Because as we keep telling you, British boxing is an absolute fucking disgrace from top to bottom. I've been telling you, innit? Have I not been telling you that British boxing is an absolute clown show from top to bottom? And the best thing that needs doing now, yeah, is it needs putting down, right? British boxing is like one of them horses, yeah? British boxing is like, you know what I mean, Sugar, or one of them old horses, Red Rum, that's run one too many Grand Nationals. Take it into the back of the ditch when nobody's looking, yeah? And give it an injection. Oh, excuse the pun, and put it to sleep, because it's a fucking embarrassment. Every other week now, it seems like somebody's fucking testing positive. Oh, and by the way, we already know, yeah, that Matchroom aren't going to have any problems with Vada testing, because we already know.
I don't need to save money. I want to put on good fights. So that was a good fight for DAZN. So I'm disappointed. But what is the point in signing up for drug testing if when you fail, everyone just goes, "Oh, don't worry about it. Just let him fight." You know? Yeah. So the argument of, well, it's all right with UCAD is totally irrelevant. You've signed drug testing with Vada, the best testing agency, in my opinion, in the sport.
So I need to get my headphones. That's why the show's going bad. So there you go. You've got Eddie Hearn in there. This is why we keep these videos there. So you've got Eddie Hearn on the record telling you that Vada is the gold standard of testing. So I'm just getting my headphones out of my boxing bag. So I went to hit the bag yesterday and I put my headphones in it. So here we go. So Vada is the gold standard of testing. Well, the gold standard of testing seems to have struck again. Right, let's start in the chat. I'm not accusing Dillian White of doing anything, and I will read your comments out. But I have to say, because somebody in the chat answered this question, how many times has Dillian White now had adverse findings for testing? Again, I want to make that clear. I'm not accusing Dillian of anything. I'm simply asking the question, how many times now, right, to be fair, has Dillian White had adverse findings for some form of substance in his system that was found during a test? How many times? How many times is it? Richard's saying it's 3 times. I believe this is the 3rd time now. Now, we don't know. Someone very, very clever in the chat has already said, we don't know what he's failed for. Was it cannabis, for example? Was it something recreational? We have no idea. I think the fact that the fight's been called off by Matchroom, and you can see the Matchroom statement here on the right-hand side, which I'm going to read. I will say, I'm going to give Matchroom a tiny bit of credit for stopping this fight. Obviously, you guys now know that the Anthony Joshua versus Dillian White fight's off. Although realistically, Matchroom had absolutely no chance, did they, with what was going on with the Conor Benn saga? And I'm going to ask you about Eddie Hearn's past comments about Dillian White, because the thing is, right, and again, I've got to be careful what I say here. I'm not trying to say that Dillian has intentionally taken performance-enhancing drugs, but to my knowledge, this is at least the 3rd time he's had an adverse finding in a test, right? 3rd time. Now, my question to Matchroom would be, why was he allowed to continue to fight on Matchroom Promotions after the 2nd time? Press 1 if you agree with me on that, and press 2 if you disagree with me. Look at the way they handled the previous failure. Do you remember the previous one where he failed was it a UCAD test he failed? He failed a UCAD test. And do you remember Oscar Rivas? They let Oscar Rivas go in with Dillian White. Dillian White had failed a UCAD test. And they let Oscar Rivas jump in the ring, and nobody told Oscar Rivas what had happened. Did you remember the whole saga with that? And Eddie Hearn was saying, oh, no, Dillian's innocent. I believe Dillian. I believe this has been a genuine mistake. Much like he's doing now with Conor Benn. Press 1 if you agree with me on this, guys. Can you not see the similarities here? Where, you know, a man has failed multiple drugs tests, yeah? Multiple drugs tests. Eddie Hearn's come out and said, no. I believe in this guy. This guy's innocent. I've spoken to him. He was on his knees crying in my office. Oh, I believe in him. And what have I been saying about this Conor Benn thing from the get-go? I've been saying, how the fuck do you know? How do you know that these guys are innocent? Like, what proof? You can't just take their word for it and put them back on the card and allow them to fucking punch people in the head, right? You have to fucking, you have to have a real thorough look at it. And you have to say, look, how many tests? This guy's failed multiple tests. But see what I'm saying? Last time this happened, we were all saying, is it safe to allow Dillian White back into the ring? Because this is a guy who's had multiple adverse findings, right? Oscar Rivas wasn't told what was going on. It's not a safe situation. If you keep letting these people into the ring, somebody's going to get fucking killed. This is what we were saying last time. Guys, just say yes or no. Am I right about it? Am I wrong about that? Last time Dillian White had the problem, right? Last time he had the problem with the drugs test. And Matchroom and Eddie Hearn were defending him. And I was saying, why are you defending this guy? Why are you defending this guy for? This is a guy who's had multiple adverse findings, yeah? And it comes to a point where you can't keep promoting this guy. You can't keep putting this guy in the fucking ring. And I said the same thing with Conor Benn. I've been saying the same thing about Conor Benn for the last fucking 8 months. I've been saying, how can you let these guys in the ring when they're failing multiple tests? It's not safe. It's not good enough to turn around and say, oh, he was crying to me in my office. Oh, I've known his dad for years. Oh, he's not that kind of guy. That's not fucking good enough. People's lives are at risk. And what's happened? This guy has now had another adverse finding. 3 fucking times. I mean, I've got to say, I give Matchroom credit for turning this fight off, for stopping this fight. I give Matchroom credit for that. You've got to give Matchroom credit. They clearly learned from the Conor Benn saga, and it's a good thing that they've stopped this fight, because this fight should never have taken place. I will say they had absolutely no chance, because if it ever came out that this fight had been allowed to go on, and there'd been a failed test, you might as well stick a fork in Matchroom. They are done. The big question marks have to be asked about what's going on in the sport of boxing. And I do not believe that Tyson Fury ate wild boar. I've said that a million times. Right, let's have a look. Anthony Joshua versus Dillian White fight update. This is the official Matchroom statement, and you've got to give Matchroom credit for putting the fight. August the 5th, 2023. Today, the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association, Vada, informed Matchroom, the Association of Boxing Commissions, and the British Boxing Board of Control that Dillian White had failed an adverse finding as part of a random anti-doping protocol. In light of this news, the fight will be cancelled and a full investigation will be conducted. Further information on the event will follow. Yeah, what is the substance, DJ N1? I'd like to know what the substance is. I hope for Matchroom's sake it's not Diana Ball again. Just out of interest. I hope for Matchroom's sake that. And like I said before, let me say this. Big credit to Matchroom for stopping this fight. Big credit to Eddie Hearn for learning what happened with the Conor Benn fight, yeah, and stopping this fight from happening. But can I ask you guys, and I want to ask you guys this one more time, because I want to know if you guys think I'm out of order for asking this, or I want to know if you guys think I'm on the money, yeah? Do you guys think, yeah, that with Dillian White and Conor Benn, we've seen situations where these individuals have had multiple different adverse findings? Am I correct? We've got two fighters who have had multiple different adverse findings, right? And people like me have asked Eddie Hearn, have been asking Matchroom for 8 months, how can you continue to put these guys in the fucking boxing ring? How can you continue to put these guys in the boxing ring when they're returning multiple adverse findings? How can you continue to say, how is it good enough for you to say, I know his dad, he's innocent, I spoke to him, I've known him all my life, I've known him since we were kids, he's my mate. Do you know what I mean? All this kind of stuff. And continue to promote these guys and continue to put these guys in the ring. This is what happens. This is what happens. Yeah. Now, here's the thing, right? And here's the other big, and this is the real big news that nobody's going to talk about. Guys, we have got 289 in the space of 11 minutes. Okay. So if you guys can do me a big, excuse me, can I repeat that? We've got 310 in the space of 11 minutes. Can you please, guys, do me a favor? Can you please feel free to hit the like button? You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to be part of the chat. But if you'd like to hit the like button and support the channel, I'd appreciate it. Because look, at the end of the day, we all know that when big breaking news happens, this is the kind of the channel that people come to in the UK. Let's just be honest and tell the truth, innit? Like, people talk all day about, oh, what's your subscriber count? Listen, you'll struggle to find many channels out there that are doing 310 inside 11 minutes on a live stream. So do yourselves a favor, do me a favor, hit the like button. We all know you're going to come back anyway. And if you want to be part of the chat, be part of the chat. And if you want to call in, let me know and we'll open the lines. It's not a problem. We'll open the lines, okay? Here's my next question, guys. And I'm reading your comments, right? I'm reading your comments. What can the British Boxing Board of Control do about this? What can the British Boxing Board of Control do about this, guys? Why? Because the British Boxing Board of Control and UKAD have been nothing but undermined, as we've seen through the Conor Benn saga. That's the real question that people should be asking. They should be asking, yeah, Dillian White's returned an adverse finding. But so what? What can the British Boxing Board of Control do? What can UKAD do? Because everything we've seen in the Conor Benn case to date has told us that if you don't fail a UKAD test, if you fail a Vada test, nobody fucking cares. The promoters don't give a shit. The promoter will turn around and say that, and tell you all these fucking stories about he didn't fail a UKAD test. Dillian White will probably release a fucking 600-page document saying that the Vada tests were fucking mishandled. I'm waiting to hear Dillian White start saying that he consumed too many eggs. Everything we've seen in the last 8 months, yeah, through the Conor Benn scandal, has said that UKAD, yeah, and the British Boxing Board of Control have pretty much fuck all jurisdiction when it comes to fighters failing Vada tests. Am I right or am I wrong? Press 7 if you think I'm right. Press 8 if you think I'm wrong. Is that not the message that we're receiving from the Conor Benn fiasco? The message that we're getting, isn't it, is that it's okay to fail a fucking Vada test because it seems like there's a jurisdiction problem, isn't it? It seems like if a fighter fails a Vada test, his lawyers are going to go to the National Anti-Doping Panel, like you know whose lawyers did, and they're going to turn around and argue, but UKAD don't have any jurisdiction over you, over this fighter anyway, because he never failed a UKAD test. He failed a Vada test. So you've got no jurisdiction over him anyway. Or maybe Dillian White will just turn in his license. Will turn in his British Boxing Board of Control license so that he can't be sanctioned. Can we see what I'm saying here? Everything we've seen, right, from the British Boxing Board of Control, UKAD, Matchroom, Conor Benn, his lawyers, and all involved. Why should the public have any faith in anti-doping in the UK? Why should we? What do you guys think? Why should the public have any faith in anti-doping protocols in the UK? Because all we've seen so far is, listen, again, I'm not saying that Conor Benn intentionally took a performance-enhancing drug, but the man failed 2 tests, and they're talking about getting him out in September with no ban. The man failed 2 tests, and they're talking about getting him out in September without serving a fucking ban. And the promoters here talking about promoting him and talking about what fights. Look what's going on here. The man failed 2 fucking tests. All you need to do is just go on the Matchroom Boxing fucking YouTube. And you can see, look, a fucking 10-minute and 37-second interview from his promoter saying the nightmare's over. The man failed 2 tests. So why would anybody have any faith that anything's going to happen and get done this time? I mean, look at this fucking garbage, man. It's enough to make you want to fucking be sick, man. Look at this shit that you have to see on this page, bro. Look at this. Look at this. Exclusive. Conor Benn reacts after UCAD clearance. Was he cleared by UCAD? I don't believe he was. But again, undermining the process, aren't they? Conor Benn was... I've never seen any evidence to suggest that Conor Benn was ever cleared by UCAD. Look at this. Eddie Hearn phones Conor Benn after UCAD clearance. The nightmare is over. Eddie Hearn reacts to Conor Benn. The man failed 2 fucking dope tests in 3 months. And that was after... And I have to say this, and again, guys, press 5 if you agree with me on this. He failed 2 tests after he failed to enroll with the WBC fucking anti-doping program. Press 5 if I'm right about that, or press 6 if I'm wrong. He failed 2 tests after he failed to register with the WBC Cares program. And they said it was an administration mistake. He fucking signs up and fails 2 fucking tests. 8 months later, no ban served. 8 months later, no ban served. You've got this you've got this Cheshire cat grinning all over YouTube. The nightmare is over. Let's get him out again in fucking September. It doesn't matter. I've known him all my life. I know he's not on dope. I believe him. I know him my whole life. Same fucking shit happened with this man, Dillian White. Oh, I believe Dillian. I'm backing Dillian. Well, he fucking failed another one. How many more? How many more do we need to fail before somebody does something? One guy here's failed 2. This guy's had 3 adverse findings. How many more? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many more before you stop promoting them? How many more? DLS says, why are they not pressing ahead with the fight? He's passed all his UCAD. And you know what? Can I say something? Do you remember? And guys, you have to apologize if I'm not on the money like I normally am. This is breaking news, and we're still sort of learning things all the time, yeah? So this is stuff that got released in the last half an hour. But can I ask you a question? By the way, Riku, if you're listening, I can't DM you because I'm on the limit, Riku, on Twitter, so I can't DM you, Riku. But Riku, if you're listening, or if anybody's listening, can they tell Riku, if you want to come on the show, can you email me? Can I send you the link? It's not a problem. Because I'm happy to get people come on here and do a call in. So Riku, if you're listening, if you'd like to call in, please feel free to call in. Let me just say this next thing, right? And it's about these adverse findings. Yeah, how many more? Right. Do you remember the last time Dillian White had a failure? I'm not going to mention the name of the YouTube channel because it is what it is. But do you remember when Dillian White last had an adverse finding? Do you remember a particular YouTube channel and certain other people saying, "Oh, but he passed his Vada test. Vada's the gold standard." Press 1 if you remember that. Because do you remember last time it was the other way? It was the other way around. For Oscar Rivas, I believe he failed a UCAD test but passed his Vada test. Do you remember? Right, I'm not going to mention the name of this person. All right, but there was a certain individual on YouTube who was making videos, right, saying that basically it didn't matter because he passed his Vada test, and Vada's the best in the business. Do you remember that? Do you remember that argument? Don't make me dig up these fucking videos. The thing with these idiots is, yeah, the problem with these idiots is they're so easy to disprove. Do you understand? These idiots are so fucking easy. All they do is tie themselves up in knots, you see. And now you tied yourself up in one knot too many. Because last time you had an adverse finding before the Oscar Rivas fight, you're telling me it didn't matter because he passed his Vada tests. Don't make me get the fucking videos out there. You said it didn't matter because he's passed his Vada test, but now he's failed his Vada test. So what's the excuse today? As Roy Jones Jr. said against Antonio Tarver, that fated night, what excuses have you got tonight? I can feel excuses coming in the air tonight. Oh, Lord. These guys are going to be making excuses for the rest of their lives. Oh, Lord. Somebody get them Phil Collins concert tickets. Somebody get these guys some Phil Collins concert tickets. I can feel excuses coming in the air tonight. You feel them coming, can't you? You know the excuses last time, innit? Oh, it didn't matter because Dillian passed his Vada test. Dillian passed his Vada test. So look, there must be a problem because he passed his Vada test. He passed his Vada test. So there must be a problem with the UK test because he passed his Vada test. Well, now he's failed his fucking UK test. So what's the excuse? What's the excuse this time? What's the excuse this time? Let me read your guys' comments. Chris, big up, mate. Enjoy listening to you talking facts. We couldn't write it. Am I going to get apologies? Am I going to get any apologies for everything I've said about doping in boxing over the last 8 months? Is anybody going to come and apologize? I was being attacked left, right, and centre a couple of weeks ago for saying that Conor Benn is not being cleared by UCAD. That turned out to be factually correct. He ain't been cleared by fucking UCAD. All you got to do is read the fucking statements from UCAD and the British Boxing Board of Control. But I was being attacked all last week and a week before. Ultra, just let it go. Ultra, just drop it. Ultra's got an agenda. Well, here we go again. Another fucking failure. Another fucking failure. And these are the ones we know about. Can you imagine what we don't know about? Can you imagine the failures that we don't know about? Because let me make this clear. This isn't a Dillian White problem. Dillian White isn't doing anything that the others aren't doing. That's my opinion. I'm going to tell you today, it ain't just Dillian White, man. Dillian White isn't doing anything that these other guys aren't doing, man. And let me make this clear. I do not believe that Dillian White should be banned for life. Because again, as I've said before, if Jarrell Miller is able to continue to box, okay? If Jarrell Miller is able to continue to box, then why should Dillian White not be able to continue to box? All right. If Tyson Fury is able to continue to box, why should Dillian White not be continue to box? But it does raise the question, doesn't it? The first question that people should ask is, what's going to be done about this? And if we're not going to act on Vada testing, what's the point, of having Vada testing in the UK? And let me say one more thing. Here's point 3. If Dillian White gets banned for failing a Vada test and Conor Benn does not get banned for failing a Vada test, can we all start to agree there's a serious fucking problem with the with anti-doping and lawyers in this country? Because there's no way that Dillian White should be thrown under the bus, but Conor Benn should get off scot-free. Press 8 if you agree with me on that, and press 9 if you disagree with me on that. How are you gonna take action against Dillian White, but you can't take action against Conor Benn? We can't just make up one rule for one person and one rule for the other. Either they both get off or they both take a ban. But you can't just throw Dillian White. And that's what will happen to Dillian, by the way. That's what will happen to Dillian, you see. Dillian will get thrown under the bus, in my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about that. But to me, Dillian will get thrown under the bus. What do you guys think about that? I think he'll get thrown under the bus. Do you know why? Because he's coming to the end of his career. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me on that, or do you not agree? Dillian's coming to the end of his career. They wanted to feed him to Anthony Joshua to prop up Anthony Joshua one more time. They've always used Dillian White as a guard dog to prop up Anthony Joshua. But Dillian's been knocked out one time too many. The plan was to send him in the ring and get him knocked out by Anthony Joshua. Wouldn't he? That was the plan, wasn't it? Or by a match a minute. The plan was to get Dillian White in the ring again and get Anthony Joshua to knock him out again anyway. And then they were going to cast him to the wayside anyway, because he already done been over to BT Sport and been knocked out. Dillian White done been the sacrificial lamb his whole fucking career for Anthony Joshua. Am I right or am I wrong? Dillian White done been the sacrificial lamb for Anthony Joshua his whole fucking career. Because do you think if Anthony Joshua failed a drugs test, they would have fucking done it in that manner? What do you guys think? Let me tell you right now. Anthony Joshua ever fails a drugs test, there ain't going to be no fucking press release coming out like this straight away from Matchroom Boxing. Am I right about that? Am I wrong about that? If Anthony Joshua ever failed a drugs test, all you'd hear is there's been a problem, someone's been injured, fights off, and you wouldn't hear about it again for about another 10 years. Am I right or am I wrong? Press 1 if you agree with me, press 2 if you disagree. You think if Anthony Joshua had failed that Vada test, you think there would have been a fucking statement released in fucking 0.6 seconds saying fights off, he's had an adverse finding? Do you think there would have been a statement? There would have been fuck all. I'm telling you, it would have been someone suffered an injury, fight's been rescheduled. And you would have never heard of fuck all again. That's what it would have been. But see, Dillian, Dillian is subject to requirements at Matchroom, isn't he? But see, Dillian's an idiot. He's always been subject to requirements at Matchroom. Eddie Hearn's a guy, like I said before, who sat in a room with him, didn't he? And told him that DAZN were going to win that purse bid, didn't he? Do you remember? Do you remember when Dillian was turning down all that money from Frank and BT? Do you remember during the Tyson Fury negotiations? Because he genuinely believed Eddie Hearn and DAZN were going to win that purse bid, didn't he? Do you remember that? Do you guys remember? when Dillian fucking could have got a shitload of money just for taking the fight, and he went to purse bids. Yeah, he went to purse bids because Matchroom told him they were going to win the purse bid. Did they win the purse bid for him? Did they not? Oh, okay. And then what happened? What happened? He got absolutely destroyed in 6 rounds in one of the worst performances in a top-level fight we have ever fucking seen. And ever since that day, he's been subject to requirements at Matchroom. He's been subject to requirements at Matchroom. I want you to keep a very, very close eye, yeah, on how Dillian White gets treated versus how Conor Benn gets treated. Because I think, yeah, Dillian White's about to get the O'Hara Davis treatment. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat and I'll read your comments. I've got the feeling that Dillian White is about to get the O'Hara Davis treatment. I've got a funny feeling that Dillian White is about to find out, yeah, what the underside of a bus looks like very, very quickly. Let's see if Eddie Hearn sticks behind him. Let's see that. Let's see if Eddie Hearn sticks behind Dillian. Let's see if they go balls to the wall for Dillian. Let's see if the British Boxing Board of Control get any lawyers calling them. Because you know what happened when you know who failed those 2 tests? The British Boxing Board of Control were getting phone calls telling them, you've got no right to investigate this. This is between us and the WBC. Don't get involved. I'm not making this shit up. If any lawyers are listening, it's very, very simple. Robert Smith said it in an interview with the excellent Simon Jordan, who was right all along. Simon Jordan was right all along. And all Muppets were turning around saying, Simon Jordan got destroyed by Eddie Hearn. Simon Jordan don't know where he's got. Simon Jordan was right from the get-go. Fucking told you about Simon. He was right from the start. That's another guy that people need to apologize to. Simon Jordan. Simon Jordan's been on the money about this whole situation from day one. Simon Jordan's never been fooled by any of this bullshit from day one. Here's the interview. You can see it right here. All right. TalkSport Boxing, an interview between Robert Smith, as you can see on the screen, on the British Boxing Board of Control, and Simon Jordan. A fucking brilliant interview. An absolutely brilliant interview in which it was made clear that as soon as you know who failed those 2 drug tests 8 months ago, the lawyers were on the phone straight away to the British Boxing Board of Control telling them they had no right to investigate. So what's going to happen now? What's going to happen now? Are they going to go balls to the wall for Dillian the same way you've gone balls to the wall for Conor? Are we going to get 800-page documents for Dillian? Are we going to get fucking magical egg consumption from Dillian? What's going to happen to Dillian? Are we going to go balls to the wall for Dillian like we did for Conor Benn? And we're going to fight tooth and nail, and we're going to put the reputation of our promotion on the line. Are we going to do that? Or since Dillian's coming to the end of his career, and since Dillian's not an undefeated fighter anymore, and because Dillian's had several knockout losses, yeah, and because Dillian's, this might be Dillian's last fight, what are we going to do? Are we just going to say nothing and let it happen? We're going to say nothing, yeah? We're going to say nothing and let it happen, yeah? We're going to say nothing, just let Dillian take the L, yeah? What are we going to do? We're just going to let Dillian take the L, let him take a ban, yeah? We're going to let Dillian take the ban. What do you guys think? Is Dillian going to get the ban for this? Or are we going to get these videos? Are we going to get the nightmare is over? Eddie Hearn reacts to Dillian White clearance. Eddie Hearn phones Dillian White after UCAD camps. Are we going to get these videos on the Matchroom YouTube? Or is it going to be Dillian, you're on your own, mate? Is that what it's going to be? It's going to be Dillian, you're on your own, mate. Where's the consistency in all this? What do you guys think? Where's the fucking consistency? Benny Stokes says, I knew White was shot, but didn't realize he was shooting himself. Bye-bye, Dillian. We don't want no cheats in the sport. Throw White under that bus. Do you guys think Dillian White's career is over? I don't think it is, to be honest. And we don't even know what he's tested positive for. To be honest with you, we should, and I want to make it clear again. I have not accused Dillian White of intentionally taking anything. Do you guys understand that? I'm simply responding to the news. And I'm responding, to the inconsistencies in how drug test failures are reported and dealt with by the media and by the promotion. Make sense? That's all I'm talking about. I'm not saying Dillian White's intentionally taken anything. I'm not that stupid. I know the lawyers are listening. But there's a question in the poll in YouTube right now. For those of you watching on YouTube, there's a question in the poll. Do you guys think Dillian White's career is over? What do you guys think? Do you guys think Dillian White's career is over? Dillian White, how many tickets did he sell against Jermaine Franklin? Do you guys remember? Didn't do very well in ticket sales against Jermaine Franklin, did he? Didn't do very well in ticket sales against Jermaine Franklin, did he? Where's the onus? Where's the onus to fight for him? Sean Medieval says Whyte is trash, always has been. Van Moss says Whyte being a washed-up former interim champion at best. Eddie doesn't care. Conor Benn being a prospect must always be coddled. Do you guys agree with Vamos? Do you guys agree that we're going to see some inconsistencies in the way that these test failings are happening? What do you guys think? Also, Anthony Joshua's going to be getting a replacement opponent, and you know he's fighting on a fucking undercard, as someone on Twitter's just mentioned. Derek Chisora. Do you guys think that Derek Chisora might get pulled out and thrown into the ring of Anthony Joshua on Saturday night? What do you guys think? I'd imagine Derek Chisora might be about to make the most amount of money he might have ever made in his fucking career. What do you guys think about that? Derek Chisora's on the undercard against Gerald Washington, but what's to say they just fucking pull Chisora off that fight, shove him in with AJ to get one last final beating that will absolutely send him into retirement, and then just pay off Joel Washington or give Joel Washington a promotional agreement with Matchroom? What do you guys think? No? The kid's back says, nah, AJ won't fight Chisora. What? Because they're friends, you think? I'd imagine the amount of money on offer would be for Derek Chisora would be astronomical. I'd imagine Derek Chisora's phone is blowing up right now. What do you guys think about that? I'd imagine Derek Chisora's phone is blowing up right now. Have you guys ever seen Derek Chisora's phone before? Derek Chisora's a simple guy, you know. Do you know that? Derek Chisora's a simple guy, man. Anybody wants to know what Derek Chisora's phone looks like? Here it is. Derek Chisora's a very, very simple guy. Big buttons. Hashtag big buttons. Hashtag big buttons. Derek Chisora will be sitting by the fucking bedside table down at his mansion down in the countryside, and he's got that on his bedside table. No joke. And when the phone rings, he's going to press that big green button. You're going to press that big green button. And he wants to hear them big numbers, big buttons on the phone, big numbers over the phone. That's what Derek Chisora is about right now. You feel me? Big buttons on the phone, big numbers over the phone. Because Derek Chisora right now will be asking for 7 figures, man. Sorry, 6 figures. No, seven figures. Derek Chisora is going to be on them 7 figures, mate. Jesus Christ. He'll be on them 7 figures, man. Absolutely. Moldy says, Whyte has done well to be a pay-per-view fighter with his very limited ability. Yeah, but he needs to get his timings right. You know? What do you guys think in it? You know, I've said it before and I say it again. Someone really needs to educate these fighters about how to time these Vada tests. They're voluntary, man. Someone really needs to start educating these fighters on how to time their Vada. They're voluntary. The V in Vada, isn't it for voluntary? The voluntary anti-doping. Yeah, so you volunteer to take the test when you know you're clean. How can fighters not get this, man? I think I need to go into boxer management, you know. Someone needs to explain to these fighters what these Vada tests actually are. They're voluntary. So you volunteer to take the test when you know you're clean, you idiot. You idiot. Go and get a pre-test, yeah? Go to a lab, go to a private laboratory and get your urine tested and get your blood tested beforehand. Go and get pre-tested. And then when that comes clean, then you join up and sign up with Vada. And can I say something about how bad this failure was from Dillian White? These two clowns only signed up for Vada testing with 5 months to go, with 5 weeks to go. Him and AJ. I mean, fuck. Dillian must be fucking crazy. Yeah, you volunteer to random testing. Yeah, you do it. Yeah. But you only volunteer when you know you're clean, mate. That's why you do. Listen. Anthony Joshua and Dillian White signed up for Vada testing 5 weeks before this fight. They've only been signed up for Vada for a couple of fucking weeks. What do you guys think? Well, you guys think these two have been tested 24/7? That's how bad this failure is from Dillian White. Do you guys think these guys just get randomly tested at any time? These idiots fucking signed up fucking 3-4 weeks ago. We was commenting about it on fucking on Twitter. They signed up for Vada like 4 weeks. That's how Jake Paul does it. Bypass Vada. Yeah, he signs up like 4 weeks before the fight. It's when you sign up for testing, innit? These guys aren't being randomly tested 24/7, 365. It's when you sign up. So, makes sense. So that's what makes this Dillian White failure even worse. I mean, this guy's only been signed up with Vada for this fight for the last 3-4 weeks, and he's still fucking an adverse finding. Maybe Dillian does need to retire, but somebody's not getting that right. Whoever's in his camp isn't getting it right, man. What is going on? Let me see if I can... Richard, are you there? Richard, can you do me a favor? Actually, no. Richard's probably on the move. It's unfair to ask him. Let me see if I can find it, because you guys don't believe me. Let me see if I can quickly find it on Twitter while I read out some comments. I'm waiting to see if Riku wants to come on as well, actually. But my DMs on Twitter are a bit fucked up at the minute. But if Riku's listening, I want to see if Riku wants to come on. Just give me 3 seconds. Whyte, Vada. When did these two... I remember when these idiots signed up. They only signed up a few fucking weeks ago. In fact, if I go to Vada's website, I wonder if I'll be able to find it on their website. Just give me 3 fucking seconds. If anybody can find it, let me know. Richard, if you can find it, let me know, mate. Shoot me the link in the chat, Richard, because you can post chats if you can find it. Old School says Rob Tiber is saying he wasn't surprised. A lot of known secrets. Yeah, but hold on a minute. Why are we just throwing Dillian under the bus like Dillian's the only one on dope? Come on, man. And I'm not saying that to Rob Tebbett, but I'm just saying in general. Look, Rob Tebbett saying he wasn't surprised says a lot of known secrets in them circle. What? So it's just fucking Dillian? Come on, man. Let's get real. You guys need to wake up, man. If you think Dillian's the only one on this, I'm here to tell you today. It's about who's not on it. Not who's. It's about who's not on it, man. Here we go. Richard says, July the 9th, these two Muppets signed up for Vada. So Dillian White, and we know this because Vada actually sent out the tweet from their official site. So according to Richard, Dillian White and Anthony Joshua signed up for Vada on July the 9th. These two brothers ain't even been on Vada for 31 days. This brother ain't even been on Vada for 31 days. This dude couldn't make it 31 days without getting a failure. These guys need to be educated, yeah, on when to sign up for. Don't sign up for Vada until you've, please, man. Don't sign up for Vada unless you know you can pass it, man. July 9th, these two turned up. But Dillian White couldn't even go 31 days without returning an adverse finding, man. Less than a month, man. Less than a month. Fury is the only clean fighter. He's not clean. Nobody on this chat has ever said Fury's a clean fighter. But good attempt. We know what you're going to try and do. You're going to try and bring up Tyson Fury to deflect away from the situation. Nobody here believes Tyson Fury's clean. Does anybody out of the 350 people that are watching this channel, does anybody here believe Tyson Fury is clean? Not a single one. So it's just the same old shit, isn't it? Every time a match on Fighter fails a test, what they're going to do? But what about Tyson? Tyson Fury served a ban. A backdated ban, yes. But Tyson Fury went through the process and served the ban. Has Conor Benn served the ban? Cool. I'm just saying. Jonesy, Fury is clean. I'm not going to say anything about that because I don't want the lawyers looking at my door. If you believe that, that's fine. Me personally, you know my opinions on dope testing in boxing. Let's move on. Oh my, there are a few of you that actually believe he's clean. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Oh dear. Look at this. Look, there's a few of you that actually believe that certain fighters are clean. Here's my message to you. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Oh, Lord. Kumbaya. There you go. That's my answer to you. Jesus fucking Christ. It's going to be a long day today. Do you mind if I quickly get Mrs. Ultra to get me a cup of tea? Just bear with me, please. Una Memento. In fact, while you're here, just give me 1 second. Here, I'll just play you a very, very quick interview. I'm just gonna get. Don't go anywhere. I'm just gonna get a cup of tea. It's been a fucking long day. Where's that video of? Where's that video? You know the one I'm talking about. The one of they've been freestyling.
Yeah, bars and a slow one, I reckon, man. Who's going first? Freestyle Sunday!
I be like, who's that chilling in the range? Me and them boys, I swear down, we ain't the same. Tell them boys, really and truly, it ain't no game. Man, they think they're really about this life, but they got no aim. I'm about to squeeze. Eating up the rhythm like I eat my dinner. Punchy on the mic, you know that I'm the winner. Them boys are some learners, some beginners. When I'm on the mic, you know I really go in. Man, I try to. Anyway, heavyweight, like my dude. When I'm on the mic, man, they're confused. When they ain't doing what we done.
Sorry about that. Right. Cup of tea is coming on the way. There you go. Yeah, it's go karting on a fun day. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. There you go. So let's have a look here. Certified hood classic. What, guys? Talk about anything you want. If anybody wants to call in and give their opinion, call in. Let's hear your opinions on Dillian White. Let's hear your opinions on Anthony Joshua as well. What would you do if you're Anthony Joshua? Who's Anthony Joshua's opponent going to be this weekend? Because it looks like we are going to get a fight this weekend. Do you know what that means, don't you? When Matchroom say they're going to get another opponent. That's just code for no refunds. What do you guys think? Man, all those people signed up to see Dillian White versus AJ, yeah? That's what they signed up to see. They all signed up to see Dillian White versus AJ. What they're now going to get is Anthony Joshua versus Dempsey McKean or Anthony Joshua versus fucking Derek Chisora or some shit. All right? So, very, very simple. Yeah? The show goes on. That's code for no refunds. We're in too deep, innit? We're in too deep, man. We are in too deep. You know what I mean? DAZN need Anthony Joshua to fight. I mean, I'm not going to bash DAZN because they already do a good enough job of that yourselves. But if you see the DAZN schedule, my lord, you see the fucking DAZN schedule. They need Anthony Joshua out ASAP fucking P, mate. They need Anthony Joshua ASAP. Here's Monsieur Benson, the tweet thief extraordinaire. Let's get this up on the screen here. Unclear at this point whether Anthony Joshua will still fight or take a replacement opponent. Blah, 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 blah. So he's saying it's unclear. Benson, but Benson doesn't know anything. Why are you guys so sure that Chisora ain't going to be fighting AJ because they're friends? Do you know how much money's on the line here? What do you guys think? Why are you guys so sure what AJ and Chisora are friends? So what? What, they're going to be friends after? They're going to be, big up, Marco, and you're welcome to call in if you want, man. I haven't seen you for ages, Marco. Make sure you're still modded up. Are you still modded up? You better be. Because someone told me, is Marco still modded? He fucking should be. If he's not, he is modded. Yeah, sorry. Just making sure. Yeah. I mean, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Chisora, you guys are saying AJ's definitely not going to fight Chisora. Well, how the fuck do you know? Well, someone turns up to Chisora and says, Derek, will you let Anthony Joshua bury you and put you in a casket for £1 million? What, you think Chisora's going to turn that down? Do you know how many fucking Five Guys you can buy with £1 million? Derek, just mark my words. Derek Chisora's phone is going to be fucking ringing like crazy right now. Derek Chisora's phone is going to be ringing like crazy. These are the plans that Matchroom have for Derek Chisora. Shall I show you the plans? These are the plans that Matchroom have for Derek Chisora. For Derek Chisora. As far as they're concerned, yeah, they'll probably offer Derek Chisora $1 million. And as far as they're concerned, they want Anthony Joshua to bury this man and end his career. Buried alive match. That's what you're going to see, you know. Live, yeah, on Saturday night on DAZN. Anthony Joshua, yeah, rolling Derek Chisora into a casket and shutting the lid. I'm telling you, for £1 million, they'll do it, you know. Fuck all this shit. Oh, they're just mates. They ain't never going to happen. Mate, there's money involved, innit? There's no mates, yeah, when there's 7 figures on the line, mate. There's no mates, innit? And as far as Matchroom are concerned, yeah, right, they need blood and guts, yeah, in order to take everybody's mind away from yet another failed drug test from a Matchroom fighter. Yet another failed drugs test from a Matchroom fighter. They need to take everybody's mind away from this. And if that means, yeah, sacrificing Derek Chisora, yeah, to the almighty gods of the Anthony Joshua hype train, and they'll fucking do that. Do you know what I mean? Remember that episode of Raw where the Undertaker crucified Stone Cold Steve Austin and sacrificed him? Do you not think Matching would do that to Chisora? Are you mad? There you go. Do you remember this? When the Undertaker sacrificed Stone Cold Steve Austin and tied him up on that big T and hung him outside the arena. Are you telling me for £1 million Match ain't up for doing that to Derek Chisora? Mark my words, yeah. Anthony Joshua will come into the ring, knock Derek Chisora out. All the lights in the arena will go black. Everybody will start lighting candles. And Anthony Joshua will put on a black hooded robe, yeah? He'll put on a black hooded robe. He'll tie Derek Chisora to a massive cross and he'll hang him up, yeah, right in the middle of the O2 arena. And then he'll roll his eyes in the back of his head, yeah, and he'll say, "Rest in peace." Yes, at this stage, yeah, looking at the DAZN schedule, yeah, for the next 2-3 months, yes, they would do that. If you're asking me, yes, they would do it. Would they do it, Ultra? They're mates. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. They don't give a shit, mate. They don't give a shit. If you're the DAZN executive right now, it's squeaky bum time, man. Because you know what? After this fight, it's Bellew fight and Tommy Frank. It's Bellew fight and Tommy Frank, man. So if you're the DAZN, yeah, listen, let me tell you how the DAZN are rolling right now. This is how the DAZN are rolling. Live pictures, yeah, of Lemblin Atvik. This is Lemblin Atvik right now, yeah, down at the DAZN, yeah. This is Joe Markowski right now down at the DAZN, yeah. Right now, these guys are going on like Hitman, blood money, yeah. It's all about the blood money. Hitman, blood money. Those guys will be sitting, yeah, in a fucking smoky room, yeah, with Eddie Hearn and Barry Hearn beside them at the table. And they'll be smoking cigarettes and blowing the smoke into Barry Hearn's face and saying, "Barry, we've just looked at the schedule, you know. Do you know that the only fucking thing you've got for us in the next couple of months is Tommy Frank and Bellew fight? I'm telling you right now, I don't give a fuck who you have to get, yeah, on this card. I don't give a shit if you fucking bring Frank Bruno out of retirement, yeah, and stick him in the ring with Anthony Joshua. I don't care if you bring the corpse of Danny Williams back, yeah, and stick him in the ring. Get somebody in that ring on Saturday night in the O2 Arena, no refunds. And by the way, yeah, please stop drug testing these fucking fighters. Please. That's what it is, man, right now. That's what these guys will be doing down at the DAZN. Blood money, mate. Blood money. Blue Collar, you're welcome to call in if you want, mate. Big Len gonna start dishing out some Novichok seasoned food in the DAZN head offices. They'll be looking at that fucking schedule right now and they will be fucking shitting it, mate. They will be fucking shitting it, mate. That's why, yeah, the show must go on. Let's have a look. JD says, I saw people on Insta demanding AJ versus Ruiz 3. Please, please. Dillian White's career is pretty much hanging on the balance. The last thing we need is AJ fucking stumbling around the ring again, yeah, in a fight that he's taken on short notice. That ain't gonna fucking happen. Forget about it. Guys, what do you guys think about Dillian White? Career over? Blue Collar, you're welcome to call in. A few of you seem like you want to call in, you know. We'll see. Give me 5 minutes and we'll see. I'm hoping Tony will be awake at some point as well. Shout out to Tony's reviews. It'd be great if we could get Tony on, or we could get Oh, speaking of Tony, while we're here, has anybody heard from this man? Just out of interest. Anybody heard of this man here? Tony Bellew. I'm just asking for a friend. Has anybody seen Tony Bellew? What's Tony Bellew's one? No ifs, no buts, no maybes. You fail for performance-enhancing drugs, you get banned for life. Now, Tony's been crawling up the backside of Dillian White for the best part. How many years? How many years has Tony been on the DAZN crawling up Dillian's backside, even though Dillian's failed, even though Dillian's had at least 2 adverse findings? Now, by some miracle, Tony Bellew ain't been seen on Twitter since August the 4th, yesterday. Can I ask you guys a question right now? Do you guys think if Tyson Fury had failed another drugs test, or if Daniel Dubois had failed a Vada test, would you guys think Do you think that Tony Bellew would have found a way to log into his Twitter page within the last hour and a half, 2 hours? What do you guys think? Give me a yes, give me a no. Do you guys think if it had been Tyson Fury or it had been Daniel Dubois who failed a dope test? Do you think that Bellew would have found a way to log into Twitter and tweet something in the last 24 hours? Because right now, that's another guy, yeah, whose career, well, what's left of it is hanging by a thread. I mean, talk about lack of credibility. No ifs, no buts. You fell for performance-enhancing drugs, you're banned for life, unless you box for Matchroom. Just come out and say it, Tony. Tony, just come out and say it, Tony. Let's be honest. No ifs, no buts. You fell for performance-enhancing drugs, you're banned for life, unless you box for Matchroom. Isn't that right, Tony? Because right now, yeah, nobody can hear a fucking word from you. It's funny, Tony, because when everybody else fails a drugs test, you're the first one to come on fucking social media and start saying they need to be fucking hanged, innit? And need to have their fucking head chopped off. Innit? What did they do, Tony? Head chopped off, banned for life, all sorts. They're murderers. They should be fucking charged for murder. When it's a Lucas Brown who fails, he can't get on Twitter quick enough, can he? When it's a Lucas Brown, innit? When it's a Lucas Brown, when it's a foreign fighter failing a drugs test, man, Tony Bellew can't get on Twitter quick enough. But recently, innit? Yeah, exactly, Richard. If it was someone of Queensbury and Boxer, Tony Bellew would be on Twitter right now calling for a lifetime ban. But now all of a sudden, it's Matchroom fighters that keep failing these fucking Vada tests. Let me tell you something. I never thought Vada would be the end of Matchroom boxing. But it seems like fucking Vada are doing more damage to Matchroom boxing than any rival promoter ever has. Where are you, Tony? Where are you at? I asked a question. I've been asking for Tony. Look, if you see here, I've been asking for Tony. Here's me tweeting today. You can see my tweet to Tony on the right-hand side. I'm asking Tony. Hey, Tony, should Dillian White be banned for life? I know he's your mate, Tony, but should he be banned for life now, given that he's had 3 adverse findings? How many more, Tony? How many more chances does he get, Tony? How many more? Be looking forward to hearing from you very, very soon, yeah, on DAZN. And I'll be looking forward to hearing from them other DAZN mouthpieces. You know who they are, them DAZN mouthpieces. You know who these DAZN mouthpieces are. When it's Jerome Miller, ban Jerome Miller for life. When it's Conor Benn, we need to hear the facts. Look forward to that. I look forward to another 8 months of that bullshit, innit? From the usuals on the DAZN payroll. When it's Jerome Miller, ban Jerome Miller for life. When it's somebody else, when it's somebody on Matchroom or DAZN, well, maybe we need to listen to the facts. Oh, okay. But apparently I'm a fucking sure. It's embarrassing, man. Looking forward to hearing from Mr. Tony Bellew about that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Stoned to death. You guys are saying that Tony Bellew said that drug cheat should be stoned to death. Well, there you go. Ain't looking too good for Dillian White. Michael Benson, who will be on this 24/7 now because he's got no life whatsoever, will be saying, who do you want Anthony Joshua to fight next Saturday now that the Dillian White has been cancelled due to White's drug test? Hrgovic. This guy thinks they're going to put him in the ring with Hrgovic. Hrgovic is the only right answer. Chisora is probably the only likely one. Heavyweight boxing is dead. I wouldn't say heavyweight boxing's dead. I would say it's dead for this year. Yeah, but absolutely. Marco, if you want to call in, Marco, absolutely call in because we haven't heard from you for fucking ages, Marco. So, Marco, if you can call in, can you let me know and I'll drop you the link because we haven't heard from you for ages and that's not right. Also, I'm sending out for Andre the Giant. Where's Andre the Giant? You got to be careful with him, but get Andre the Giant involved as well. If anybody knows where Riku is, I'd like to hear from Riku. And I'm hoping that Tony's Reviews is going to wake up. Tony's Reviews is probably in the gym right now, but I'm only hoping Tony fucking wakes up and hears it. What time is it in America? It's about fucking 7 in the afternoon right now. Sorry, excuse me, 7 in the afternoon. What am I about? Right now in America, it's 9 in the morning at Eastern time. So Tony will just be waking up. Get fucking Tony on here. Let's have a look here. You're not going to put fucking Hrgovic in with AJ on fucking 1 day's notice. There's no fucking way. Let's have a look here. Yeah, there's no way. I still think, look, we'll do a poll on it. I still think it might be Chisora, you know. And I could be completely wrong on that, just a pure guess. But I'd imagine they'll be asking Chisora to do it. Let's just see what people's responses are to this. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus. Let's have a look. Warlene, that's a good shout. Warlene. Otto Warlene would be good. Someone's about to get a very tasty payday, aren't they? What do you guys think? Somebody somewhere is going to get a tasty pay. What about Chaz Weatherspoon? somebody mentioned this guy, and there's just no way this could happen. But, you know, you wouldn't put it past him. But would Eddie Hearn go back to him one more time? One more time? Would Eddie Hearn do it? You know what I'm talking about? He's used him like a dirty used condom for the best part of 6 years, right? Is he going to get one more phone call? He said he's loyal to Matchroom. He was offered how much was he offered by Frank Warren to fight Daniel Dubois? He was offered something astronomical. He was offered 300 grand by Frank Warren to fight Daniel Dubois. And he turned it down, didn't he? Because he was loyal to Matchroom. Do you remember this guy, Dave Allen? Do you remember how he got done by Matchroom? He was offered 300 grand by Frank Warren to fight. And he said that. He's on the record as saying that himself, by the way. I ain't making that shit up. Dave Allen said it himself. Frank Warren sat him down in a room when he came to visit Frank at the Josh Warrington fight. Josh Warrington versus Galahad, I believe. Frank Warren offered him 300 grand to fight Daniel Dubois. Bearing in mind, Matchroom paid Dave Allen £8,000 to get in the ring with Luis Ortiz. Frank Warren was going to pay him 300 grand to get in the ring with Daniel Dubois. Matchroom and Eddie Hearn told him, do not take the deal. We will offer you the same money to fight Hughie Fury when that fight happens. And did Matchroom offer him the same money? No, they didn't. They called him up and they offered him half. And he was never seen on a Matchroom card again. That's why you don't see Dave Allen on a Matchroom card no more, because he got screwed. They said, don't sign for Frank Warren. We'll match your 300K for your next fight. We'll match it. 300K, we'll match it in your next fight. Phoned him up to fight Hughie Fury and offered him half the money. Never been seen on a Matchroom card since. There you go. Will the quote-unquote loyal, #loyal Dave Allen get the phone call? Look, he's training to fight, isn't he? He's training to fight. You know? He's training to fight. And we all know them boxer contracts ain't worth the fucking pen and paper they're written on. Let's be honest, innit? Can we be honest? Look, you know these Ben Shalom boxer contracts? You can break them. No lawyer's going to have a go at you. The joke, mate. Hold on. Them boxer contracts don't mean shit. We see them boxer contracts getting beat all the time. Look, let me show you one of the Ben Shalom contracts. Look, let me show you a typical Ben Shalom contract. Here you go. It's on the screen. There you go. You guys want to know what a Ben Shalom contract looks like? I'll fucking show you. There you go. These are the contracts that Matt Boxer send out. So no one gives a fuck about these boxer contracts. Everybody in the fucking business knows that these boxer contracts ain't legally binding. Here today, gone tomorrow. That's these boxer contracts, man. Here today, gone tomorrow. Everybody fucking knows these boxer contracts ain't worth the pen and paper they're written on, mate. They ain't worth the pen and paper they're fucking written on. So listen, yeah. Dave Allen, as far as I'm concerned, is a free agent, yeah? He's a free agent and he's available. And like DesDF says, Eddie's been trying to kill Dave for years now. Well, do you remember when Dave got in the ring? When they were going to put Dave in the ring with Povetkin? Do you remember? When they were going to put Dave Allen in the ring with Povetkin or some shit. And they were saying, if Dave Allen wins, he's one fight away from fighting Anthony Joshua. Do you guys not remember this years ago? This is what Matchroom used to say, mate. Dave Allen, Eddie Hearn said he's a couple fights away from fighting AJ. And he was supposed to try and fight Povetkin first. So, listen, why not do the fight now? I've been imagining Dave Allen, yeah? He's another one. His phone right now, I'd imagine, will be ringing up. What do you guys think? Press 1 if you agree with me on that. Press 2. Do you think right now Dave Allen's phone will be blowing up left, right, and center? What do you guys think? I think it will be. No one gives a shit about them boxer contracts. They ain't worth the fucking paper them fucking things are written on. No one gives a shit about them boxer contracts. Dave Allen would be in the mix for me. Dave Allen would be in the mix. And you know what? The Frazier Clark fight is such a joke. Dave Allen could fight, actually no, because once AJ knocks him out, he'll be on a medical suspension. Cooler says Joshua Chisora coming soon. Let me tell you, look, let's get a poll up. Right, let's close this poll. 81. In fact, I'm going to give you 10 more seconds because there's 320 people still here. And there's still a few people to vote. Vote now on this poll before I close it. So far, 81% of you believe that this is the end of Dillian White's career. Tell me, let's wrap up this poll and give you 10 seconds, okay, to vote on this poll. And then we're going to get to the next poll on who you think Anthony Joshua is going to fight next. And let's ask another question about the management of Anthony Joshua's career. What do you guys think about Anthony Joshua? And he didn't turn it down. But what do you think about Anthony Joshua turning down a shot at Tyson Fury's WBC title? Do you guys remember? Am I right? Am I wrong? Did Anthony Joshua, and it's not, I'm not saying he's ducking, he wasn't, he was advised to, for reasons which we'll get into in a minute, in my opinion, yeah? But do you not think that, do you not remember? Anthony Joshua had the opportunity to have a shot at Tyson Fury's WBC title before the Ngannou fight. I know Eddie Hearn says they always wanted to make the Ngannou fight. I don't believe that. But at this stage, if you still believe Eddie Hearn after fucking 5 failed drugs tests in the space of fucking 5 years for the same 2 fights, if you still believe Eddie Hearn after all this, I don't know what to fucking tell you, right? But Anthony Joshua is believed, right, had an opportunity to get in the ring with Tyson Fury for the WBC title, right? And in the end, he was advised not to go down that route, and he was advised to go a different route that started with fighting Dillian White. Would you not say, or am I wrong in thinking that, again, it's another classic case of Anthony Joshua mismanagement? This guy's done, how many months has he been training for, Anthony Joshua? It's another wasted 3 months, isn't it, from Anthony Joshua? Because he's been in camp for ages, isn't he, AJ? Am I right? Am I wrong? It's another wasted camp for Anthony Joshua, isn't it? Do you guys not think so or not? I mean, the guy's been in fucking Texas for the last 2-3 months, training away for what? Training for what? He's not fighting for a title. He's not even going to be fighting in a fucking big domestic grudge match repeat. The best we can now offer Anthony Joshua in the next 7 days is fucking Chisora, Dave Allen, maybe they'll pull Chaz Witherspoon back off the fucking car lot. It'll be some bullshit, right? But it won't be an opponent of equal value. Certainly not commercially. Charles Martin, and Charles Martin didn't get knocked out, did he? Right? Was that a decision? Did he lose a decision to Jared Anderson? Yeah, Charles Martin rematch. Listen, these are the kind of fighters that we're looking at the minute. So I have to ask you: does this situation raise question marks about the management of Anthony Joshua and about how? And again, I'm not blaming Anthony Joshua. I'm talking about the advice that he's been given by those people around him. What do you guys think? Let's kill this poll off. 81% of you believe Dillian's career is over. I don't think Dillian's career is over. I don't think we can say Dillian's career is over until we know what he tested positive for. Yeah, and I think Dillian, honestly, before we jump to any conclusions, we need to know what he actually tested positive for. But it's not a good sign, the fact that they pulled the fight. Because if it was cannabis, you can believe that Matcham would have put that in their press statement. Just one sec. Who will be the replacement opponent for Anthony Joshua? Let me just get these options. I'm going to give you some options. Chisora, Dave Allen, Charles Martin. But what's Cheven's favorite Luis Ortiz doing these days? Luis Ortiz. Let's put Luis Ortiz in there. What's Luis Ortiz? Is he retired from boxing or is he still going? Or just put other? You know, Cheven always banging on about Luis Ortiz and shit. Tell me, polls in the chat right now. Who do you think Anthony Joshua's next opponent? It won't be Zhang, because Zhang's a Queensbury fighter. And Zhang's contracted to fight Joe Joyce. And that's down to Joe Joyce, by the way. Queensbury wanted Zhang to fight Tyson Fury. That's the fight they wanted. Queensbury wanted to do Zhang versus Fury at Wembley, but they couldn't do it because Joe Joyce fucked it up. Queensbury never wanted Joe Joyce to fight Zhang in a rematch. They don't want it. They want to put Zhang in with Tyson Fury and then come and circle Joe Joyce back around. But Joe Joyce believes he can win the fight, so it's going to be Joe Joyce. I actually believe Joe Joyce will win the fight, but Joe Joyce believes he can win the rematch, so Joe Joyce went and fucked it up for everybody else. Somebody's saying Hughie Fury. Do you know Hughie Fury would ask for something absolutely ridiculous to get him with Anthony Joshua right now? Hughie Fury would ask something. He would price himself out. What do you guys think? He'd price himself out. Ask for something like 10 million and then go on IFL TV and say AJ ducked him. Easy Mind is saying Gerald Washington. Listen, AJ versus Gerald Washington. Look, it's a nice little sparring session there for AJ to go knock him out in a couple of rounds. It's a nice sparring session. But then who's Chisora going to fight? Doesn't it make more sense? Instead of taking Gerald Washington away from the Chisora fight, yeah, and putting him in the fight with AJ, which no one gives a fuck about, don't it make sense to take Chisora away from the Washington fight and putting him in a ring with Anthony Joshua? Surely that's the only way that they're going to satisfy all those people who've just bought tickets. Because you've got a bunch of people right now who have bought tickets for Anthony Joshua versus Dillian White. And Matchman basically said to them, look, you ain't getting, well, I don't know if they can apply for refunds, but the bottom line is, you know, the show must go on, innit? The show must go on. Dempsey McKean and find someone else for Hergovich on another card. But again, Mark Stanton, and you could be right, Mark, but can you see my point? You advertise Whyte versus AJ, big rematch, big domestic rematch, and you actually deliver AJ versus Dempsey McKean. Jesus. I mean, the come down from that is massive. That's why I think Chisora's phone will ring, because Chisora's got a known following in the UK. He's topped the bill on pay-per-view before. The fact that he's topped the bill on pay-per-view tells you the state of pay-per-view in this country. He's topped the bill on pay-per-view before. Can he top it again? Oh, no, I could be wrong. James Mockridge is saying Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker's under contract with, well, there you go. He's under contract with Boxer. Anybody want to see Joseph Parker's contract? Here it is. There's Joseph Parker's exclusive contract with Boxer. The one where he signed an exclusive deal with Boxer and then ended up having his first fight on BT Sport. Joseph Parker signed an exclusive contract with Boxer and then ended up having his first fight on Queensbury Promotions. Oh dear. AJ versus Parker. I don't know, look, it's better than AJ versus Dempsey McKean, isn't it? It's better than AJ versus Dempsey fucking McKean. It is what it is. Michael Benson, babbling on again like the absolute twat he is, says, baffling that this even needs to be a tweet, but Derek Chisora at age 39 should not be facing Anthony Joshua in his first fight back after the punishing Tyson Fury defeat. That should never have happened. Mate, Michael, right? We all know that you a fucking 6 foot beanpole who weighs about 90 pounds and has never lifted a fucking weight in his life. But Michael Benson, can I ask you something? Since when has this promotion ever shown that they give a hot fuck about fighter safety? Michael Benson. Do you not live in the real world, Michael Benson? Michael, you need to fucking get some fresh air and step outside, mate. And stop fucking living your life on Twitter, mate. Go outside, yeah? Have a pint, yeah? Have a pint. Dip your knob in some clunge, yeah? Have a pint and step out into the real world. Michael Benson. The guy is a fucking deluded guy, isn't he? This is what happens when you spend all day indoors, yeah? You don't get any sunlight, and you fucking 6 foot, you weigh 90 pounds, and you never lifted a fucking dumbbell in your fucking life. You come up with bullshit tweets like this. This shouldn't even need to be a tweet. When has this promotion ever shown that they give a fuck about fighter safety? Ever? Can somebody tell me? When has this promotion ever shown that they care about fighter safety over a pound note? How many fucking times do you need to be shown the same shit by the same promotion? Do you know what I mean? How many times do the same promoters need to show you the same thing? It's about pound fucking notes, mate. It's about pound notes. It ain't about fighter safety. Think about everything we've just seen in the last fucking 8 months. And he's coming out of all this moralistic bullshit. Oh, Chisora shouldn't be going. Yeah, he shouldn't. But guess what? I told you before. Listen, for the right money, right? They'll put a fucking cell around the fucking O2 Ring Arena and call it Hell in a Cell. AJ versus Chisora. They don't give a fuck. When are people going to understand that this is all about money and these guys don't give a fuck? When are these people going to understand? How many more failed drugs tests before these people start clocking onto what's going on? They don't give a fuck, man. They don't give a fuck. Stop coming out with the moralistic bullshit. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. There's some kind of rap song that I'm trying to think about in my head, but I can't think of. They don't give a hot fuck, man. Michael Benson, put a hot fuck out of your pocket right now. Eddie Hearn gives less than that. Jamie Michael Benson. Eddie Hearn, Michael Benson, put a hot fuck out of your pocket right now and show it to Eddie Hearn. Yeah, he give you less than that. He don't give a fuck, man. All right? Let me Sorry, I'm muted. Sorry, I keep touching the mic. Let's start that one again, right? Let's go to Matchroom's website so I can show you, yeah? I'm not saying it will not be, it's going to be Chisora for sure. I'm not saying it's definitely going to be Chisora. I'm saying you guys are right. It's probably unlikely they're friends. But I'm saying it's definitely not out of the question for me. And what I'm saying is this fucking moralistic bullshit about, oh, well, Derek Chisora shouldn't be put in the ring because he's 39 years old. These fighters don't, these promoters don't give a fuck. And here's why. I've told you. 19th of August, Bellew fight and Tommy Frank. That's what's next. Bellew fight versus Tommy Frank is what's next. Let me tell you something. The show must go on. You can't cancel no AJ fight when you've got Bellew fight and Tommy Frank coming up on the 19th of August. You need a top line opponent. They'll be ringing around and throwing money around left, right, and center. Because we've got fucking 2 months, yeah, until Josh Warrington, yeah, gets to the ring to get knocked out by Lee Wood. So that's basically a whole 2-3 months of no decent DAZN programming. You better fucking believe, yeah, that Derek Chisora's phone's going to be ringing right now. Are you mad? You better believe Derek Chisora's phone's going to be ringing right now. You better believe it, mate. Whether it will happen or not, I don't know. But this schedule is looking bleak. Do you not understand, mate? This schedule's looking bleak. This schedule's looking like the fucking bargain bucket, yeah, down at Tesco at fucking 9 p.m. at night. I don't shop at Tesco, but I gather at 9 p.m. at night, they bring out the bargain bucket and you get a whole bunch of scavengers hovering around trying to dig out, yeah, the cheapest piece of fucking bacon rashers for their kids' dinner. Things ain't looking bleak. Listen, let me say it another way to you. Boxing is in a cost of living crisis. In fact, I call it the card of living crisis. Can I hashtag? So I mute myself again. Can I hashtag that? Because I know somebody will steal that, please, from me. Boxing is in a cards of living crisis right now. Hashtag, okay? What do you guys think about that? You understand that? Boxing is in a cards of living crisis right now. Hashtag cards of living crisis. I should put the TM. Where's the trademark? Where's the trademark thing? There we go. Let me TM that. That's mine. We start hearing that shit on other channels who keep ripping off my shit. Stop stealing my fucking jokes, man. People come to me every other week saying, hey, did you know that this guy nicked your jokes? And we heard that joke on Ultra's channel. And then 3 weeks later, we heard it on this podcast. Stop nicking my fucking jokes, man. Come up with your own shit. You're supposed to have a lot more subscribers than me, so come up with your own fucking jokes and stop nicking my shit, man. Cards of living crisis. Registered trademark. That's what boxing's in a minute. Cards of living crisis, mate. We're fucked in the UK. I told you UK boxing's a fucking joke. I've been telling you for the last 12 months UK boxing's a fucking joke. We've gone from not being able to put on fights that anybody wants to watch to not even be getting fights to pass a fucking drugs test. Dillian White signed up for Vada on the 9th of July. He couldn't even go 30 days without fucking passing a Vada test. That's where we've got to in British boxing. We've now gone beyond the point of no return. We've gone from not being able to put on fights that anybody wants to not being able to get fights to pass a fucking simple drugs test, mate. We're fucked. I'm just here to tell you that today. Just in case anybody wants to have any doubt about it. We are fucked. Let's have a look at some Dillian White news. Let's see what's going on. We haven't looked at any breaking news. Anybody's got any breaking news, they are willing to, if you got to ping me, you're willing to do so. Everything boxing. I do like everything boxing. I have to say, I do like him, even though we know he's, we know which side of the fence everything boxing's on. But I have to say, I do like everything boxing. He's actually an all right guy. Anthony Joshua's immediate reaction to Dillian White's adverse analytical finding. There's a lot I want to say right now, but I know the lawyers are listening, so I'm going to leave it there. All I'll say is if you think it's just Dillian White on dope, you're crazy. That's all I got to say. Jesus Christ, look, this shit even made Sky News. Shit. Breaking. Congratulations. The best bit of promotion Dillian's got all week. Because I'll tell you what, yeah, DAZN were doing an absolute disgrace of promoting this fight. Hardly anybody even knew the fight was fucking happening. And the one time Dillian gets promoted by Sky again, because he failed a fucking drugs test. That's a shocker. Oh dear. I bet when Dillian White thought he was going to be back on Sky, he didn't think it'd be under these circumstances, did he? Jesus Christ. Breaking. Boxer Dillian White has failed a drugs test, meaning his all-British fight with Anthony Joshua next week has been cancelled. Jesus. Breaking news on Sky. Fucking hell. They've even got the fucking yellow bar out for Dillian. Jesus. They even got the yellow bar out for Dillian White, you know. I thought that yellow bar was only reserved for Vladimir Putin, but nah, even Dillian White has been yellow barred by Sky. Jesus, maybe his career is over, you know. Fucking hell. Absolutely unbelievable. Red Chem says, makes you think why the AJ White face-off wasn't aired. Do you know what, Red Chem? Nobody's asked this question. When did he fail the test and when did they know? Isn't that interesting? When did he fail the test? We know it was after. We know it must have been after July the 9th, yeah? So when did he fail that test? Because we've all assumed that he's just failed now, haven't we? Am I right? We've all assumed that he's just failed right now. And that they've just found out he's failed and they've just pulled the fight. Even I assume that. But hold on a minute. When did Dillian White have this adverse finding? And when did Matchroom find out about it? That'll be interesting to find out, innit? When exactly did he fail and when did they know? Just to make sure. I'm sure, to be honest, I'm sure they've just found, but a week to the fight is a bit close, isn't it? A week to the fight. Literally a week to the fight. Oh, okay, thank you. DJ one says Matchroom statements is informed today. That's fine. I take it all back. No problem. Sorry about that. That's fine. I absolutely take that back, mate. I absolutely take that back. I'm just honestly, I'm just double checking. That's all. I'm just double checking. But if Matchroom say if Matchroom say it's today, then they found out today, then it's today. Simple as that. Super Sardonic says, who or what do you think White and his team will blame this on? Well, the thing about it is this. From what we've seen, yeah, from previous dealings when British fighters have had adverse findings in their drugs tests, the first thing that will happen is the lawyers will be calling up the British Boxing Board of Control and telling them that this is a Vada test. And because it's a Vada test, you've got no fucking jurisdiction. You can't do shit. And the funny thing is, we've already seen a case, right? And you know what case that is, where a certain fighter's lawyers have believed to have gone to a certain fighter is believed to have had his suspension lifted. You know who that fighter is. A certain fighter who failed 2 drugs tests is believed to have had his provisional suspension lifted. And part of the reason why his provisional suspension was lifted is because it's been judged, allegedly, that UCAD don't have any jurisdiction over this fighter. So I would imagine that the same thing will happen with Dillian White. Press 7 if you agree, press 8 if you disagree. Why would Dillian White not go down the same route as Conor Benn? If I'm Dillian White, I'm ringing up my lawyers right now. And I'm saying the lawyers are going to ring the British Boxing Board of Control. And they're going to tell the British Boxing Board of Control, you don't have any jurisdiction over me. This is a Vada test. I have not failed a UCAD test. You've got no jurisdiction over me. I'd have my license back in. I'd come up with a 700-page document that blames Vada for mishandling my test and said it's a conspiracy. And then I'd say that I was in Portugal training in the Algarve and I consumed some eggs. And I consume some dodgy eggs. And dodgy eggs is the reason why this is happening. Okay, let's do something. It's been 1 hour, 20 minutes. I don't think we should keep beating a dead horse for right now. Let's do this. Let's take a break. We've had 276, 300 all the way through. Let's be responsible. Let's take a break for a couple of hours and let's see what actual news is happening. Let's see, and we'll hopefully get some more information. And we will be back, hopefully, in an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Also, that'll be good American time because what we'll do is get a call-in going. So would you guys be interested in calling in? I'll try and see if I can get Riku on. I'll try and see if I can get Shevin on. I'll try and see if I can get whoever I can get on. Tony's reviews, Shevin, Riku. I don't know what Mickey Elliott's doing right now. I will try and get somebody on, yeah? So we'll try and get a call-in going. I want everybody to come back in a couple of hours. So unless something happens to this channel, let's say around 4:30 in a couple of hours, yeah? So a couple of hours, let's just see what new news comes out. and then we'll see if we can organize a call up. All right. Take care of yourselves and each other, and subscribe, please, as well.